I want to highlight this comment in regards to MTG's current spin out. Because not only is it my favorite theory, but I think it's actually a little bit more than that. And I think, and I'm hoping that this is really what we're going to see from, the GOP in the coming months, maybe years. MTG is just like the perfect example of this, okay? Because she is fundamentally and undeniably a shit stirrer. That's what she does. I'm not trying to insult her. That is just like professionally, personally, she is a shit stirrer, okay? In a party and ideology that has been built on dopamine seeking behaviors, she is at the front of the pack. She is out looking for a fight always. The issue is different types of targets yield different levels and types of dopamine returns. And this is why I think overall the goal of, the left and Democrats in general should be gray rocking and just generally like ridiculing and just like staying out of it. Obviously, like do everything in your power to stand in the way of the destruction of our country and democracy and everything that, we hold dear. But I think that the most effective way of having this play out in the most like self-destructive way possible is to make the left be a less fun target. And by simple virtue of the right winning the trifecta, like most of the work has already been done for us, right? Yes, they've always been about triggering the libs, but built into that has also been this very, very strong element of self-victimization. And that's not to say that the majority of America has not been victimized. It's just been mostly victimized by corporate greed and, Republican policies. But the right has very effectively kind of turned that target towards the left and harnessed the dopamine that comes from picking fights with people that you feel have aggrieved you. Now, I'm not saying that that immediately goes away with power. I'm not saying it immediately goes away with the trifecta because they will always, always find a way to self-victimize and blame someone else. However, it does make it a little bit harder. Obviously, this is where scapegoating comes in, like with immigrants. But as someone who's in the upper echelons of power and like 1,000 steps removed from an action, the only time that's actually like really gonna give you any dopamine returns is at the beginning. But when you're a congresswoman that's not only part of the majority party in both chambers, but also the majority and party in power in the trifecta and all three branches of government, it's a lot less satisfying dopamine wise to go after, the underdogs, the people who have less power. The best shit you're gonna find to stir is up. It's gonna be the people with more to lose, at least on like a political arena, right? Forcing the powerless to do something like reaps its own benefits, in a dark sort of capitalistic sense, sure, but it doesn't really reap the same level of dopamine as forcing the powerful to bend to your will. This is also, by the way, why I believe that we've seen so much anger coming from MAGA despite their win. They need something to be angry about. They need something to be victims about. They need something to mine for their dopamine. It's also, slight side note, why I believe that we're seeing so many men go after women again, because the more empowered women become, the more satisfying it is dopamine-wise to go after them. And these are people being raised on this dopamine and either gray rocking them, laughing and saying, all right, man, not my lesson to learn, or saying, congratulations, I hope you get what you voted for, is not giving them the returns they were hoping for. Not putting up more of a fight has them looking for a fight. And as long as we don't give them a fight, and not in terms of like not doing our jobs in defending and protecting and safeguarding human rights every step of the way, but I mean like the drama that they're looking for, I think their brains are gonna start seeking out other targets and finding other ways of being aggrieved. MTG has already done it. She's already found a way to be aggrieved by the people in power, and those just so happen to be her fellow Republicans.